Welcome to Coastal Cooking with your host, Carmela Campbell. Coastal Cooking features delicious recipes and cooking tips from the Gulf Coast's finest chefs and restaurants. Watch as popular local chefs prepare their special dishes with natural gas. Coastal Cooking is brought to you by Pensacola Energy, provider of clean, efficient natural gas.
Cooking for us today is Executive Chef Chris Gerlits from Shux Oyster Bar in downtown Pensacola. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me again.
Well, it is so good to have you back with some of your special dishes. Tell our viewers what we'll be cooking today.
Today we're going to pop some raw oysters, then we're going to make some baked oysters. Oysters Rockeflore, we call it, because we add a little more heavy cream to it, so it's not your traditional Rockefeller. After that, we're going to make some jalapeno crawfish grit cakes.
Ooh.
And then we're going to come back with some New Orleans shrimp.
Oh, wow, we're in for a treat today.
Yes, ma'am.
We're going to start off, of course, with our oysters.
Yep, going to pop some oysters, just show how that's done. The oysters that we get are a premium oyster. They're called live band, and basically what that is they individually clean them, rubber band them, then they radiate it, so it kills 99.9% of all the bacteria in it, but doesn't kill the oyster. And since we're an oyster bar, we just want to make sure people know when they come in they got a safe product. So we'll get popping that.
Okay. These are beautiful oysters, the shells anyway. I love oyster shells.
And we try to get them from Louisiana. If we get them from Apalachicola, that's awesome, but lately they're not really harvesting because they're trying to get the beds back the way they were.
Okay.
So I'll take these rubber bands off. I probably won't shuck all of them, just a couple of them. Just
how many oysters do you all go through in a week?
We get the box in and it's 100 count. So on average, probably 30 boxes.
Wow.
Just average. So this weekend will probably be a little extra. We got gallery night coming up and some UWF football. So.
Oh, sure. Sure.
So basically the back end right there is where the hinge is.
Okay.
And sometimes you got to get the knife in there a little bit to puncture it because it's so pressurized. And sometimes you just have to put it in there and twist.
Now, is this a special oyster knife, or you can use any type of knife?
Everyone's got their own little
Gizmo,
their favorite
huh?
knife. This one's just one that I grabbed. So you see all the wonderful oyster juice and everything. That's where all the briny flavor is and makes an oyster so delicious. So.
And then you loosen it from the shell a little
disconnect
bit?
it and stuff so customers don't have to do it.
Yeah.
Oh, try not to get juice everywhere.
Oh, nice.
So, they're really nice. They're spot on right now. They're just briny, the color of them, they're nice and firm. They're everything that you want.
That's what you look for.
Yep.
In a good oyster.
And plus you can smell it. It smells like the sea. So, showed you how to do that. We're going to go ahead and get the Rockeflore going. Basically all you're going to do is take a heavy cream, some seasoning, and wilt the spinach down.
Okay.
So, and we don't use frozen spinach. We use fresh spinach. It just makes it a better quality. So we'll go ahead and get that going. And while we got that cooking, we're gonna pop some in the oven.
Okay, they're already done.
Explain how we do it at the restaurant.
Okay, perfect. Now this, is just one type of presentation for oysters that you have on your menu.
Yeah, we do raw. This is our most popular. Then we also do char grilled. Char grilled is
I've had those.
second.
They are delicious.
And very simple garlic butter, and flame comes up. Use Parmesan cheese as a fire extinguisher. It does all.
Rich and
gives
yummy.
it all the good flavor just from that. So what we're gonna do is take the heavy cream. That much right there. Like I said, all we're trying to do is heat that up, reduce it down a little bit, and wilt the spinach.
Okay.
After we do that, we want to cool it down so we can add our cheese and our breadcrumbs and all that stuff.
All the goodies.
So got the heavy cream going.
And it won't take very long, will it, Chris?
Nope, not very long at all.
For spinach to wilt.
So ours, we put some chicken base in there. Chicken base gives it a rich flavor, and the other thing it does is adds the sodium, so you don't have to add salt.
Oh, okay.
So I do that with a lot of my recipes. I use bases so I don't have to add salt to it and give good flavor and everything. All right, so we got that going. Chicken base. some coarse black pepper. I like coarse black pepper just because it's got a better flavor to it and stuff, and you know. So some of that, a little bit of cayenne, just enough so when you do eat it, you get it on the back end. And garlic.
Can't leave out the garlic.
And okay.
And that's it, huh?
Yep. Gonna let that go for a little bit just so it reduces down a little bit.
And then you'll add your spinach?
Yep.
Okay.
And what I'm gonna do now is go ahead and put the oysters in the oven and explain that process, what we do at the restaurant and everything like that.
Okay, perfect. And then we'll add the rest of the ingredients to our
Yep.
spinach and cream mixture. Oh, and these look lovely. And you're gonna broil these?
Yeah, broil them. Already stuffed them, shucked them a little bit earlier. Had some Roquefort made up already.
Okay.
So gonna go ahead and
We'll
throw
get our
those
finished product in. And you said these only take like 2 or 3 minutes?
Yep. And we put them on a cast iron hot plate. So basically, the minute it hits the hot plate, it's starting to cook this way.
Okay.
The other thing that we do at the restaurant, I'm using an oven right now, but we use a salamander. So salamander is producing heat from top. It's 700 degrees. So the minute it hits that hot plate, it's cooking this way, and that salamander cooks it that way. A couple things that we do that, which is a little different. Another thing that we do is we just put enough topping on top of the oyster. We don't bury it. You know,
to where you can't taste the oyster because of the
oyster
topping.
is the superstar, so we want to make sure it stays that way. And like I said, cooking it in the salamander takes 2 minutes, and you get a big oyster in there still. It's not shriveled up, and you can't find it. So while that's going, like I said, 2 minutes, we're going to go ahead and add the spinach to it.
And this depends on how many oysters you want to top, right? As far as the amount of ingredients.
Of course, at the restaurant, we make large batches.
Oh, yeah. What's your favorite oyster?
Raw.
Raw?
Yep. Which is
I
funny.
wish I could do raw. I just can't, but I love
Which
any
is
type
funny
of
because
topping.
I'm from the Midwest and we don't have oysters up there. But the first time I had an oyster, they're like, try the baked, and I just didn't understand it. Where I got it at, it was buried on all this topping and stuff, and couldn't really taste the oyster. And I was like, just bring me some raw.
How old were you when you tasted your first oyster?
When I moved down here, I was 22.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, some people have never even tasted an oyster, so hey, you know, you got to jump on that.
Yep. I didn't even no cocktail. I put a little hot sauce, and that was it. Right on.
That was it.
So I'm gonna go ahead and stir that up. Like I said, all we're trying to do is wilt that spinach down.
Gosh, it takes no time to do that.
We don't want to really cook it too long because we want that nice color to it.
Right.
If you cook it too long, it just starts getting that real dark green look.
And that's the beauty of using fresh spinach as opposed to the frozen, isn't it? And the frozen has a lot of water in it. It's really hard for me to drain it and get it dry sometimes.
So we're just stirring that, wilting it down. Take a look at the oysters in the oven, make sure we're looking good. Yep.
Are they ready?
They're ready.
All right. Well, Chris, since we've got these ready, let's real quickly add our other ingredients to this mixture to show our viewers what goes in. And then we will plate our oysters.
When the spinach wilts and the heavy cream reduces down a little bit, we want to cool it. And the reason we want to cool it is because we're adding cheese to it. It's going to melt and make a mess. So we're going to add the rest of that. We add bacon.
That you cooked, of course.
Yep. Some green onion. We don't use breadcrumbs. We use Ritz crackers. The Ritz crackers, they're buttery, they're more rich and stuff, so just...
Great idea.
So we'll add some of the Ritz crackers to it.
Sometimes that's the secret ingredient, isn't it?
Yeah, I wanted club crackers because they're really, really buttery, but they don't, you can't get them in all crushed up and everything. You individually sleeve them. I'm going to turn that off because it did what it needed to do.
Okay.
Then we add Parmesan cheese.
Okay.
And that's it.
That's it, huh? Well, let's plate up our cooked oysters,
Okay.
and then we're going to take a commercial break. Get ready for our next
All right,
dish.
ready.
Look how beautiful these came out, Chris.
Yeah, you hear them
Will
sizzling?
they cook in no time? Yes, I do. Oh, that rich, yummy goodness. How many usually come to an order?
We do a dozen or a half dozen.
Okay. I can't wait to dig into these.
All right. Then.
Beautiful. Let's put them right here up front. Oh, you got to top them.
Yeah, we put a little bit of green onion just for color. And a lemon.
Voila, there it is.
There it is.
Beautiful baked oysters flora.
Rockeflore.
Rockeflore. I was close.
Yeah.
Okay, we have got another special dish coming up, and we'll start that right after these messages, so stay with us.
Natural gas homes are in demand. Here's what home builders have to say.
Our customers seem to like gas, and we pride ourselves in quality of production and quality in our houses, and using gas just helps us with that and helps us sell houses. Customers seem to like the convenience of gas logs in their fireplaces. Who likes carrying wood throughout their house and lighting a fire? And they really seem to like the convenience and being able to turn the switch on and have a fire.
Go blue and save green with natural gas from Pensacola Energy.
Natural gas dryers may cost a little more than electric ones, but they dry clothes quicker, making them cost half as much to run. So now who's getting taken to the cleaners? Learn more at PensacolaEnergy.com.
Welcome back. We're ready to start our next dish.
We're going to make some jalapeno crawfish grit cakes.
So see, oysters aren't the only thing you have on the menu, is
plenty
it?
of other stuff.
Absolutely.
Yep. Got stuffed burgers.
I
all
love your
kinds
stuffed burgers.
Yeah.
Tell everybody what they're stuffed with.
We have, 4 different kinds. We have one that's called Hidden Treasure Burger. It's stuffed with American cheese and bacon. Spicy Hidden Treasure Burger. It's got fresh jalapenos and pepper jack cheese. Black and blue, it's got caramelized onions and blue cheese inside the burger. Then
That's my favorite.
Yeah.
I love
Then
that
Surf
one.
and Turf actually has crab and shrimp and a cheese blend.
And that's my favorite.
Yeah. That one's one of our top
It is
sellers.
great. Okay, but we've got grit cakes right now.
Yes. We're going to start making the base to our house grits. They're garlic cheese grits. So we want to go ahead and get heavy cream going.
Now, you're from where?
Iowa.
Iowa. How old were you when you first tasted grits? When you moved down south?
Yeah.
Okay.
Waffle House. And I tasted
Waffle
them. I
House.
went, ugh.
What are these?
They taste like nothing.
Well, it's our staple down here. We love
So-
our grits.
Basically, we want to heat up the heavy cream and melt the butter and stuff.
Okay.
You want to keep an eye on that because if it's too high, it will just boil over
Yes.
and make quite the mess. And you want to cook, not clean.
Right.
So
Right.
I'm going to throw this in the garbage real quick.
That's a
Then we're going to move
great
on to the next
advice.
thing. We're going to speed this up. I already have some grit cakes made up, but I'm going to explain the steps and everything on how to make the grits. All right. So we got the heavy cream, got butter.
Yep.
And like I said, I like using chicken base. It gives a richness to it and adds the sodium. So we're going to add some chicken base in there. Coarse black pepper. And garlic.
Garlic.
So to speed this up, obviously we want the heavy cream to heat up, the butter to melt and everything. Then what we would do is add the grits to it. So,
Are these quick cooking grits?
yep,
Okay.
just instant grits. Instant grits, I prefer them. You know, people swear by the stone ground grits. You have to babysit them, sit there and add
Yeah.
more liquid, more
Right.
liquid, more liquid.
And in a restaurant, that's hard to do. isn't
Yep.
it?
So we would add the grits, heat it up. They would obviously thicken up. And as it's thickening up, we want to add our cheese to it. The cheese that we use is queso blanco. I like it. It's very rich cheese. It's not salty, but it's got salt content to it and stuff, and it melts real smooth.
Right.
So I usually shred it, just makes whipping it in a little bit easier. So we would add that.
And of course, you know, any flavor you add to grits is going to be the flavor, because grits don't really have much of a taste, do they?
No, they don't.
So it's all the ingredients that you want to include.
When I came up with this can't talk.
Recipe.
Recipe, thank you. I made it where I'd eat them. So that's why the chicken base and the garlic and the bunch of cheese, heavy cream, butter. I made it so I would eat it.
If the chef eats it, it's got to be good, right?
Yep. So what we do is cook that down until it's nice and thick. We want to kind of cook it a little bit longer so it's real thick. When it is thick, we want to add our jalapenos, fresh diced jalapenos. And our crawfish tails. The crawfish tails, slightly chop them up just so you can get more pieces per grit cake.
Makes it a little easier to eat, doesn't it?
Yep. So you'd mix that in. Like I said, you want it kind of thick, because the next step you're going to do is to put it in the refrigerator and let it harden up.
Before you make the patties.
Before you make the patties.
Okay.
At the restaurant, we use ice cream scoop. It's a 6-ounce portion. Scoop it up, and they'd be like that. So we're going to go ahead and turn that up a little bit more. So I got them patted up already. What we want to do is lightly dust them.
In what, Chris?
Flour.
Okay, just plain all-purpose?
Yep.
Okay.
Basically, that's going to kind of hold it together a little bit better and give it a little crust. So put that right into the pan.
And really the mixture's cold, so that'll help it stay together too, doesn't it? Oh, these are going to be yummy. What do you serve with these? A sauce
It's
or
an
anything?
appetizer, actually, but a lot of people get it as their entree.
Do you serve it with a remoulade sauce, or?
No, we change it up. You got the one spice from the jalapenos, so we put a different little spice to it. We drizzle it with our house-made horseradish sauce.
Oh, okay.
So it just gives it a kind of 2 different kind of heats to it.
Yeah. Good.
It complements it really well. So that's going to go ahead and cook, and all we're trying to do is get them. It's already cooked.
Just brown.
Yeah.
Just brown.
Just want to brown it off.
Yeah.
We'll throw this in the ground.
Okay. Well, while that cooks, let's talk about, of course, Shux. I mean, you got indoor and outdoor dining, and I like that your outdoor dining is covered.
Yes.
Very, very nice.
Yep. It's real neat. It's got the red canvas drop. Then we have big iron gate in the front, and it gives it just that kind of, maybe you're walking in New Orleans in the little place
you're right.
there.
You're right. You're right behind Al Fresco.
Yep.
That's on the corner. You are directly behind that.
Z-Taco,
so it's
right behind
very easy to find.
Yep.
And parking behind your building?
That's kind of the thing with downtown now. Downtown's grown so much, it's parking wherever you can find parking.
But it's worth it. It's worth a little bit of a walk, even.
Well, a lot of people parking, that's what they do. They walk up Palafox, they walk a little further down Main to go to the baseball field and look at the water.
Oh, and the Blue Wahoos are playing, or anything's going on at Maritime Park. Stop by Shux.
Yeah,
and get some of Chris's
They do
great
a wonderful job down there. They have so many special events, movie night, family night thing. Then, it's
gallery
real
night,
nice.
you name it. It's really nice.
So.
Well, you're in a good location.
So that's sizzling, and it looks like it's browning like we want it to.
Sure does.
Oh, well, maybe not quite like we wanted it to. Let it go a little bit longer.
And you are browning these in butter.
Yes.
Right? Okay.
Yep.
Perfect.
Can't go wrong with butter.
Absolutely perfect. No. You're open for lunch and dinner?
Lunch and dinner.
7 days a week?
7 days a week.
You never get a break?
I got a break today.
That's right. You're with us, huh? But that's nice because there's so much going on that, people enjoy being able to come when it's convenient for them. And if you're open 7 days a week, hey, pick your day, right? That'd be perfect. We're going to take a commercial break here, Chris, while these cook, because we've got a New Orleans barbecue shrimp coming up, right?
Yep, New Orleans shrimp coming up.
We'll start that right after this.
Heat pumps don't pump much heat. In fact, heat from an efficient natural gas heater can be 30% warmer, and you can get up to an $800 rebate when you install one. Warming up to natural gas yet? Learn more at PensacolaEnergy.com. Heating water with electricity versus natural gas can cost twice as much, and tankless natural gas water heaters can add even more savings. So don't get soaked with higher energy costs. Learn more at PensacolaEnergy.com.
Our grit cakes are ready.
Yep. Plated them up, drizzle it with a little horseradish sauce that we make in-house, and a little bit of green onions, give it some flavor.
And they look perfect.
And that's it.
Look good. And now on to New Orleans shrimp.
New Orleans shrimp. So, got the beer in there, and what we're doing is reducing that down. So we'll add the rest of the ingredients to it.
Any particular type of beer?
Nope, whatever. I was gonna bring PBR, but my beer truck didn't come in yet, so I just brought some Miller Lite.
Okay. Okay.
So, we're gonna add the Holy Trinity, which is celery, onions, and bell pepper. So add that in.
Now, you heated your beer.
Yep, heat it up. So we're gonna add the celery, onions, bell pepper. And obviously that's gonna cook as the beer is cooking. Add some garlic to it. Like I said before, chicken base, I just like it.
It is so much flavor, concentrated flavor, isn't it?
Chicken base, then we're actually gonna add some seafood base.
Oh, so you'll have both flavors in there.
Some seafood base in there. Take this off. Some blackened seasoning. A little bit of lemon juice. And some Worcestershire sauce. And what we're gonna do is let that reduce down, so it maybe by a third. Then add some heavy cream to it, let that reduce down a little bit, add a little bit of butter to it. Then we'll go down to finishing it up, adding the shrimp and the rice to it. So we added the heavy cream and reduced it down. It's been reducing for about 4 to 5 minutes, and this is the consistency that it should be at. Thickened up a little bit because of the heavy cream reducing down. Next, we're gonna add some butter to that. Just whisk it in real quick.
Will that thicken it any?
Yep, it'll
A little bit
thicken up
more?
a little bit.
And give it, of course, lots of flavor.
Of course, you don't want it like boiling. I've got to basically add a very small simmer. So whisking that in, it's melting down, it's thickening it up a little bit. The next thing we're gonna do is add the rice and the shrimp to it.
This is a quick dish, isn't it? Once you get this thickened?
Yeah, once you get the sauce where it needs to, it's real quick from there. So add the shrimp. We use 26-30 count shrimp. Give it a little more heat. Just gonna kind of let that go. Let the shrimp cook a little bit, then we're just gonna add the rice. The rice is already pre-cooked, so all you're doing is heating it up. You do want some of the sauce to, you want the rice to soak up a little bit of the sauce. You don't want it to the point where there's no liquid at all. That's why we serve it with the garlic bread, so there's a little bit of liquid so you can dip it in there. So while that's going,
well, that's nice and easy.
give it a little more heat to it.
Yeah. Well, let's talk a little bit more about Shux. You have got a great bar that's right outside where you can also dine, and your bar is right there.
Yep, it's a
As
full
you
bar. Got everything you can think of. Yep.
Do you have some special drinks that
We do.
people
We have
really
a whole
like?
bunch of different specialty drinks. Probably our 2 top drinks are our Bloody Marys and our house-made margarita. The margarita, we don't use a mix. We actually make it ourselves. Agave nectar, lime juice, some triple sec and stuff. We make it to order. And it's,
Sounds
real
good.
popular. We also do a version of a bushwhacker. We call it Shux Whacker. A little twist to it. Makes it our own.
Yeah.
But,
Make it your own, absolutely. How are the shrimp doing?
They're getting there. Shrimp don't take too long at all.
No,
About
and
a
you,
minute or
goodness,
2
you
minutes.
don't want to overcook them, do you?
So they're starting to firm up a little bit, get a little pinkish to it. So we're gonna go ahead and add that rice.
And just incorporate that?
Yep.
All right. While you do that, Chris, I'm going to give everyone a telephone number. If you would like copies of today's recipes, you can call Pensacola Energy at 436-5050, or you can visit our website at coastalcooking.com. How's that looking, Chris?
It's looking right where it needs to be. A little juice so you can dip your garlic bread in there. So we'll go ahead and plate that up.
Ooh, that is chock full of flavor right there. And loaded with shrimp.
Oh, yes.
Love it. And just enough sauce to dip your bread in, right?
What we're going to do next is actually grab a small spoon. We put a horseradish sauce, the same one that we put on the grit cakes and stuff. Just drizzle a little of that on there.
Give it a little bit of kick, huh?
A little bit of kick, yeah. That. Sprinkle a little blackened seasoning on there, just to give it some color. And a little bit of green
some green onions. Look at our 3 dishes from Shux Oyster Bar. I'm in for a treat today.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
guarantee, right? Well, Chris, tell everyone again what your hours are. We want to mention your location again and your website.
The website is shuxoysters.com. It'll have our hours and all that. It has a link to our Facebook from there also.
Okay.
And stuff. So we post stuff every day on the Facebook.
Okay, and you're open for lunch and dinner?
Lunch and dinner.
Right downtown, in the heart of downtown, right? Behind Al Fresco.
On Main Street.
On Main Street, and just wonderful food. You got all kind of beers that'll go with all this great seafood.
We
and
got
oysters,
local beers.
don't you?
We got Gulf Coast Brewery, and we also have Pensacola Bay Brew. So we try to change it up. Do beer of the month. We usually change it up a little bit. I think we have. I think it's a Pilsner, blueberry Pilsner from.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I bet that's good.
I don't know. It's supposed to come in today, so maybe
Sounds
when I get
good.
out of here, I'll
It
go try
sounds
it
good.
out.
And of course, you know, oysters, you know,
Oysters.
that's your name, but that's not all you have
Yep,
to offer.
definitely. We have a crab cake that's wonderful, just enough filler to hold it together, and that's about it. And
I
the crab
love that
is
kind.
the star in it. So
Yes.
sometimes people mask that too much.
Yeah, and your burgers are to die for. They are wonderful, and of course you've got seafood dishes such as our New Orleans shrimp. Just good food.
Yep, come down and see us.
Absolutely,
Check it
and
out.
tell Chris you saw him on Coastal Cooking.
Yeah.
And if you'd like the recipes, of course you can call us and get those too, and try these at home. How about that?
Sounds good.
Better yet, visit Chris. He'd love to make it for you.
Yep.
Okay, well thank you again for being our guest.
Thank you for having me.
This was so nice, and your dishes are just beautiful. I know they taste as good as they look.
Yep.
All right. Well, we will be back again next Sunday with more Coastal Cooking. We hope you'll join us.
This has been Coastal Cooking with your host, Carmela Campbell. Coastal Cooking is brought to you by Pensacola Energy, provider of clean, efficient natural gas. Join us each Sunday at 6 p.m. for more Coastal Cooking.